fine.
All right, everyone, we are back and we are going to make some beef stew this evening. So the first thing we're going to do, because it's going to take a couple minutes and we prepped everything, is we're going to take our beef and we're going to start cooking it. So we want to brown the beef first. So right now it's in a hot pot with some duck fat. It's going to be a nice delicious fat to brown our beef with.
It's sticking in there. Pretty good.
Okay, one thing we did with the beef was we put some flour and salt and pepper, or actually just salt on the beef. The pepper actually gets a little acrid if you cook it in the pan, so that will come in later. Over here we have some potatoes, some mushrooms, some celery, and some carrots.
And some
They're going to go into the stew. We have our onions ready to go, which will go in right after the beef is done browning. We're also going to add some corn and some frozen peas to round out our stew. So typically we make a stew and use crushed tomatoes, but it is not, we're not making a lot today. We're just using a 1 pound piece of beef. So we're actually going to use some fresh tomatoes and cut those up in place of crushed tomatoes. Let's take a look at how our beef is doing.
We're doing all right. I'm just flipping it now.
Okay, so Mrs. Renfer is flipping the pieces so the pink sides
And brown.
brown.
Put these guys over here a little bit.
Starting to smell pretty yummy in here.
Yummy, yummy. Oh my tongue.
So after these pieces brown, we're going to take them out of the pot and we're going to add our onions. And Jordan is going to add the onions.
Should I take them out?
No, whatever that is.
Sure, you can just put them right on.
Should I add them now?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, don't
I don't have to be cold.
keep the fat in there.
I am.
Okay, you can see from the way Mrs. Renfer's holding the pan that we're going to reserve the fat to fry the onions in. So we'll get a little of the beef juices, some of the duck fat still in there, and then there's still some beef that's stuck to the bottom of the pan, which is going to be delicious.
Okay.
And we'll deglaze that soon. So we'll let this heat back up.
It's definitely hot.
And our lovely assistant Jordan is going to add the onions.
What about me?
You're done.
Okay, we've got some nice big chunks because we're making stew.
I need some liquid.
Right, a little bit more fat so we can
Have a diet meal.
fry our onions real nicely. And again, all that stuff stuck to the bottom is going to be deglazed pretty soon.
Do you want to explain what deglazed means, Mr. Renfer?
So the drippings from the beef are stuck to the bottom of the pan. And you can actually see that in the back of the pot there, you're getting some black spots from the heat. There's no big deal, they'll come off too. When we deglaze it, we're going to use some red wine. It's going to evaporate rapidly, so actually all the alcohol from the wine will be removed, and we'll just get the flavor from the wine. So we're just going to leave the onions alone for a minute and let them cook, maybe brown a little bit. Okay, Mrs. Renfer is going to take a nice healthy teaspoon of minced garlic here. Put it in there, give it a quick stir. You want the garlic to release its delicious flavor without burning. So we'll give it about a 10 count, and then Tyler will add the wine.
Careful you don't touch the pot, buddy.
All right. All right. Now Mrs. Renfer is going to scrape away at the bottom of the pan, and all of that stuff that was stuck on the bottom is going to pull away, and that is all delicious flavor that's going to get into our stew.
When you cook, the littlest things like deglazing a pan can make a difference in the flavor of your meal.
That's right. Those French meals that take it 4 hours to cook are
There's
just
a reason.
layers and layers of flavor. All right. So we'll let this boil for a little bit to boil off all the alcohol. Then we're going to add the beef back in. Some of those nice juices are going to be reintroduced to the pan. Jordan's going to add our vegetables back in,
Don't touch the pan.
or in for the first time. Welcome to the party. All right, and
Party
you can
on.
see that the pepper's in there. We didn't want it to be in the pan. Tyler's going to add our beef stock.
All right, buddy. You got it? It's kind of heavy. Yep. All right. Good job.
Okay,
Give it a little stir.
give it a little stir. And not pictured, we will cut up a few tomatoes to sweeten it a little bit, get some acid in there. And and we're also going to flavor it with some thyme.
You meant to say time.
Thyme, actually. Thank you for trying to correct me, Tyler, but you're wrong again.
It's time.
And some rosemary. Okay, and we're going to throw some more tomatoes in. We're going to add some water because we still need a little bit more liquid than we have here.
Here we
And
go.
we'll show you the final product.